Alright, let's get going. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It is another beautiful day here in Washington State. It is early on a Friday morning, and yeah, I'm up and at 'em. So I figured I had some spare time. I might as well hop on here and make a little video that I've been meaning to make for a while now. Yeah, we're gonna go through what's in my camera bag. Yeah, let's get right into it. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have been well. Hope you had an okay week, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright, first of all, let me explain this. No, I didn't go to Arizona State. I didn't go to college, that's for sure. My family is, well, at least my dad's side of the family is from Arizona, and they're all Arizona State fans, so I, by default, am an Arizona State fan. I don't keep up with their athletics. Just a sweatshirt, that's all it is. Alright, into the camera bag. So we have an old Case Logic bag here. I've had this thing, I've had this thing since I was a junior in high school. I love that bag this much. It is simple. It's lightweight. It's relatively small, and it's just a good bag. I really like it. So let's go through it. Okay, so we have the camera compartment up here, the main compartment right here. Trying to keep this all in frame. And then we have a small compartment right here. So let's go ahead and start right here. You're going to notice the interior of all the pockets and compartments is this nice bright yellow. It really helps to brighten up the interior of the pouch or pocket when you're in there looking for stuff. So this is usually where I keep miscellaneous stuff. This is usually where I put all the knives that I'm shooting for that day. So I think I have a couple in here right now. Yeah, I got the Para 3 and the Native 5. I was actually down at my local beach taking some pictures of those the other day. I put those up on my Instagram. Did I? Yeah, I put one up on my Instagram. So yeah, that's where I'll carry just kind of random stuff that I'm using that day. Knives, I also keep this in here. This is my my trigger, my shutter trigger. It's a wired one. This one has a really cool feature. You've got your shutter button here, your trigger button, but then you have a lock mode for doing long exposures, which is right up my alley because I do love some night photography and some long exposure photography. Something I've always enjoyed doing ever since I was a youngin'. I can say that I'm in my 30s now. So yeah, that's the front pocket. Let's check out the camera pocket. Yeah, let's do that. So we have the top pocket here. Sorry, I'm trying to do this via this, so bear with me. Alright, here is the start of the show. Nikon D5200. Yep. So this was my grandfather's on my mom's side. Jeff. Jeff's no longer with us, but he left me this camera and all the equipment that goes with it, and I am very grateful for that. So that being said, it's a great camera. It's a heck of a step up from what I was shooting with before. I was shooting with a Olympus E420, which is a very outdated digital camera. We're talking 10 megapixels, which is that's nothing, especially in today's world. But I made do for a long time shooting with that camera, and I actually got some of my favorite photos I've ever taken with that camera, so I'm not going to bash on it too hard. A lot of people are, it's a polarizing subject, camera brands. A lot of people are hardcore Canon, hardcore Sony, hardcore Nikon. You know, it seems like you find a camera brand and you stick with it, but I am not that kind of guy. I've had a Canon. I still have the Olympus. It just doesn't work anymore after all these years. I've had Nikons. I started out with a Nikon D40, which is, boy, that's an old model right there. The D40, yeah. Back to this though. I don't know off the top of my head how many megapixels this is. Yeah, this is just kind of an off-the-cuff video, so I apologize. I don't have any specifications on this thing off the top of my head. Yeah, it's an Nikon. It's probably in the 20s, maybe the 30s, probably the 20s as far as the megapixel goes. Yeah, this thing has been really good to me. Autofocus is pretty quick and pretty adaptive. Yeah, the lens I have on it right now is my favorite lens. It is, let's see if I can get this on, 40mm Nikkor. Yep. And yeah, this is my favorite lens. It's my only prime lens that I have for this camera. But it's relatively quick, 2.8, so relatively quick. There's definitely quicker lenses out there to be had, but for what I do, it does everything I need it to do. So yeah. Alright, so that's the camera. It runs on regular SDs, which is kind of nice because the Olympus ran on XD cards, which were kind of specialized. And anyways, yeah, it's nice to be back to something normal. Another, I guess the last thing I want to mention is the ISO range on this thing is extremely, for me, again, this is probably standard issue for cameras nowadays. I don't know when the D5200 came out, but I'm used to a 10-year-old Olympus, so 12-year-old Olympus. Is that right? Something like that. So yeah, this ISO range is a step up for me, a big step up. It is, yeah, 100 to 6400. So it is nice. I usually keep it around 1000. If it's bright outside, I'll bring it down to 500 or something like that. But it just not very noisy. Noise reduction seems to be really good on this camera, which is nice. Yeah, it's been a good camera to me. Alright, so that brings us to, oh, and by the way, I want to show you a detail on that pocket. It's got a tube down in there. So your lens is protected as it goes into the bag, which is nice. Which is nice. Alright, let's move into the main compartment here. Make sure nothing falls out. Yeah, so we have a couple lenses. Make sure these don't fall out. And yeah, that's pretty much what it'll fit, is a couple lenses and maybe, I don't know, I don't really like to keep much else in here, because I don't want a bunch of stuff banging around with the lenses, you know what I'm saying. Alright, in this main compartment, as you just saw, we got a couple lenses. We have an 18 to 55, which is pretty standard issue lens, kit lens, I guess you'd call it. The one that came with the camera. So yeah, 18 to 55, nothing special here. It does have vibration reduction, which is nice. Yeah, don't know really what else to say about this thing. It's a pretty standard lens. As is this one. This one is my telephoto. It's a 55-300, and I really haven't used this too much. I mean, occasionally I'll break it out and use it, but I definitely need to work with it more. And it's a good lens. It's a decent lens. Yeah. This one has vibration reduction as well, thank goodness, because I got shaky hands. Yeah. Okie dokie. That is it for lens. That is it for the lenses that I carry. I guess the last thing we're going to go through is these two pockets here. Here you can see the interior of the bag. But yeah, we got two pockets here, so let's go through these. Up top are more sensitive items. So we've got spare battery, spare SD. I got my wireless trigger, which is really handy. And then we got the Nikon lens pen. This thing is indispensable. It's got that side for touching up the lens, and then the little brush comes out the other end. Yeah, Nikon lens pen, really rad. Alright, that brings us to the last pocket. Last but not least, we have a couple filters and my little Nikon speed light. Yeah, hasn't gotten much use yet, but it does work alright. Gives me pretty good fill light. So that does it for what's in my camera bag. That is what I take all my photos on that you see on my Instagram. If you haven't been over to my Instagram, I invite you to come check it out. It is Jake's Northwest EDC. Put it up on the screen right there for you. Yeah, I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Yeah, that's just where I post all my photos and behind the scenes content for the channel. So yeah, the in-between stuff, the behind-the-scenes stuff, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so. Alright, I think I've talked long enough. This is probably one of the longer videos I've made in a while. It's because get me talking about camera stuff. I don't shut up. It's one of my favorite things. Photography is just, I've been into it forever, so. Okie dokie. Thanks for the continued support of the channel, guys. It means a lot. And, yeah, we'll see you in the next one.